everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. It's Chelsea, and I am here to show you how to make an authentic New Orleans style muffuletta. This is a highly requested thing when we have people over for dinner, and actually my husband's behind the camera, and this is his dad's version of the muffuletta. So we're going to get started first with ingredients. So let me show you what you're going to need. Okay, first thing, you're going to need a really high quality olive oil. You don't need much, just a tablespoon actually, and I'll show you how we're going to use that in a minute. You're going to need some olive salad. This is my husband's favorite. It's Boscoli, and it's from New Orleans. You can get it at most Rouse's supermarkets, and actually it's available in all better grocery stores. You're also going to need some oil-cured olives. And these are a little bit tricky to find. Of course, Rouse's has their own brand, so that's where we pick them up here in Mobile. Now, what about the meats and cheeses? So let me show you this. You're going to need 12 slices of salami. The thinner, the better. These are a little bit on the thick side, but it's okay. And some shaved ham. So this is Chiesi's. It's also another New Orleans brand, but it's readily available across the region. So you'll need about a pound of that. And for your cheeses, you're going to need two different things. Mozzarella here in the front and some provolone. Okay, then finally you'll need the muffuletta bread. And the muffuletta looks like a really big hamburger, but it's got sesame seeds on it. And again, here in Mobile, we can get them at Rouse's. So if you can't find them, I think you can order them and they'll ship them to you at Rouse's. I'll have to check on that. So we're going to start putting everything together. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And we're going to put this all together and show you how to build it. All right, let's put this muffuletta together. We actually call them muffs at our house, so that's how I'm going to refer to it. I don't normally cook in gloves, but this is kind of a messy sandwich to put together, so I said, why not? I like to go ahead and build it on the tray that I'm going to bake it in. Remember, your oven's at 400 degrees, heating up in the background, and we'll start with the salami. So basically, you're just going to make a circle. Okay, so that's your first layer. And then you can go over and grab a cheese. I think I'm just going to start with the mozzarella. Again, going around, loading this on. Next, the Chiesi ham. And Chiesi has been around a long time in New Orleans. And once you've tasted this ham, you're never going to go back. It's just got a great flavor to it. So be generous with the meat and cheeses. All right, and now we're going to put on the provolone. Okay, so if you were going out to a restaurant, this is basically where they would stop if they were making a muffuletta, this one layer. Then they'd add the olive salad. I've never gotten one that had the oil-cured olives on it when we've tried them out at a variety of places. I forgot to do this, and I'm going to go back and show you why I had the olive oil. If your olive salad is not as moist as this one, you can see this one's got quite a bit of olive oil. You may want to brush the bottom of your muff bread. I didn't really need to do that with this one, but I just wanted to show you that's why it's here. Okay, so what do we do next? Round two. We're going with more salami. And you can kind of see how you laid it out and adjust everything. Back to the mozzarella. I'm going to tell you how good this sandwich is. We had some friends over Saturday night and made a muffuletta. And yesterday I got a thank you note in the mail. So, hey, that tells you everything. This is a crowd pleaser. So again, going back to Chiesi Ham. Piling it on. Okay, and then again, the provolone. Okay, now that's an awesome sandwich, but we're not finished. My father-in-law was not a skimper. So here we go. Layer 3. My husband's told me stories about him. His name was Santo Pecora, and he was actually a pretty famous trombone player, internationally famous. And when he would go in restaurants, one of his famous lines was, for you to make the sandwich like you were making it for yourself. And here we go. This was his expectation right here. So a little bit more Chiesi. You do kind of want to pull it apart, spread it around, because every bite, you want to make sure you're getting all those layers in. And then finally, the provolone. Some of you may have even had a muff that was cold, and you can do that. We just love to heat it up and let the cheeses melt, and it all kind of melts together. So you got your 3 layers. Now we're moving on to the olive salad. So I'm just going to I'm going to push that down a little bit, and then we're going to put this on. And if you've never tried a muffuletta, it's just unlike anything else. It was actually created at Central Grocery in New Orleans, and Central Grocery is temporarily closed right now, but I did check, and they actually will ship out muffulettas. They had a lot of hurricane damage, and they're working on repairing, so I was so happy to hear that they're going to open up again. So I'm actually just going to dig in to here and get the rest of this. Okay, so again, this is where the gloves really come in handy, because this is pretty greasy. Do you think that we should add a little bit more olive salad, hubby, or you think it looks good? Okay, now here is the secret ingredient. These black olives, and of course you got to pit them before you add them, but wow. I just eat these like straight out of the jar. They're so good. Oh, and back to the history of the muffuletta. It was created by Salvatore Lupo, who was Sicilian. And he actually had a big Sicilian following in New Orleans. And people loved this sandwich. It's actually all of the, and correct me if I say this wrong, the antipasti, like the appetizers that they would serve, all combined together on one sandwich. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, you're done with this. And basically you're going to want to just cap this up, put it in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. You'll see, you can see the layers, you're going to see the cheese melting, and when it starts to melt, you know it's done. So that's your muffuletta. we'll see you in about 10 minutes. So here is your finished muffuletta. Isn't it gorgeous? You can see the melted cheese and everything kind of spilling out. This will feed 4 people. So the way that you want to cut it, initially you're just going to cut it straight across in half. And I'm going to do that. Hear the crunch of that bread. That is what you're looking for. Make sure I got all the way through. Gotta cut a little bit more. All right, perfect. So now you can see the inside layers of this fantastic sandwich. All right. So you're wondering, what do I serve with a muffuletta? It's really filling, but I like to start with a Caesar salad with homemade Caesar dressing, which I'm going to show you how to make in a future video. I picked up this little tip also. If you have a little salami left over, slice it up, throw it in your Caesar with some Parma, and you can make some homemade croutons if you want, but this is the perfect meal. And I actually found this wine, this little Italian wine that went perfectly with a muffuletta on Saturday night. So I'll put the name below so that you guys can seek it out. It's Giuliano Rossati. And so I just wanted to share that with you. All right, thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned something, and go make a muffuletta.